Speaker, I want to first of all pay tribute to Jeanette Fitzsimons. She and we came into Parliament at the same time, 1996, and I just want to pay tribute to the over all the years that she's been here, and I think she will be a loss to the Parliament, a loss to the Green Party. I commend her for her integrity, her absolute focus on the issues, never a focus on personalities or politics in the sense that that sometimes goes on in this chamber, and just her absolute belief in the things the Green Party stands for. I'm not a supporter of many of their beliefs, but I did always admire the way that she was clear, she was consistent, she was thorough, she worked hard, and I think her contribution to this House has been pretty amazing. I also want to make a comment about a colleague of ours, Parikura Horomia, the Honourable Parikura Horomia, who came into the House, I think, in 1999. I was a little disappointed in the offering he gave this afternoon. He's better than that, but he seemed intent on using unacceptable bad language, and I know he's probably apologised for that. But next time, because he still commands respect, obviously, by those who originally put him into Parliament, he still is an electorate MP, and I'm sure that they can rightly expect better of him as well. I'm very proud to stand in the House this afternoon and support the Prime Minister as part of the national government that he leads. I'm very proud to be part of it, and in support of the statement that he delivered to the House last week. I think listening to the contributions by the two previous members on the Labour side, it's very easy to pick out bits and pieces that might suit your argument, but in the end I think the wisest thing to do is to focus on the package that the Prime Minister outlined last week. And just to repeat what he said, and he's said it many times since, he's said it many times before that, 2010 we will have a firm focus on growing the economy. And I'll come to that, which then reminds me of what happened in the decade that the Labour Party was in power, running huge surpluses. But actually when we took over, we certainly faced a global downturn, but in fact the recession had started to set in before that anyway. And that Labour Party should be ashamed of itself for the surpluses that they were running, for their buoyant economy. They did not lay up for the bad times ahead. And a very good example of that is the fact that we inherited a number of legacies, ones that were not at all advantageous to the New Zealand public. But one of the things that was there when we came into government was over half young Māori girls and boys were not achieving level 1 in CEA. That is an indictment on a government, on a party. That is absolutely correct. That is an indictment on a party that had every opportunity to make sure that young people were trained, were educated, were skilled, and we now have to deal with that legacy, and that is, yes, they're quite right, unemployment has risen in the last 12 months, but I don't know whether they noticed that there was a global recession. But ultimately, if you don't lay up and educate and support and nurture your young people, they are going to be the ones who are hard hit when a global downturn comes, and that's what happened. So those members on the other side need to think seriously about what they didn't do when the times were good, and be a little bit more analytical about what it is which we intend to do in this year and the years going forward. As part of our plan for that was announced last week, the Prime Minister laid out following: world-class tax system, a world-class tax. Well, wait, wait, okay? We've signalled some of the things that we're going to do, that we're thinking about, and that's good, because actually going around New Zealand, up at the gay day out on Sunday, there was nobody really moving around the grounds with the Prime Minister. There was no one who said, well, we don't agree, for instance, with you raising GST. Nobody said that. What they said was, well, we can see what you're trying to do, and we're open to it because, by gosh, we have to do better with the New Zealand economy. That's what New Zealanders are saying. That's what they know. That's what they know needs to be done. A better public service when we came into government. I mean, the Labour Party had just built up the public service. Services were not necessarily the best, but the people in Wellington, well, those numbers were just huge. We want a better performing public service. We'll put a huge emphasis on education and skills, investing in infrastructure, taking away regulation, red tape that it was absolutely, again, built up during the time of that Labour government, and investing in science and innovation. There is a package. You look at the package, and you wait till, and members need to wait till the budget, and they'll see how this package comes together. But people are at the heart. People are at the heart of that economic plan, no doubt about it. And I want to refer, just if I may, to the emphasis on Māori and Pacific young people. You will have heard, the House will have heard many times already, the Prime Minister's absolute commitment to young Māori and Pacific children and young people. They've been hard hit by the recession, but as I say, that's what happens when you fail to nurture and educate them, which is what happened in the period of the Labour government. Oh, the member can say that, but the member knows very well. The member knows very well that there is a legacy here of underachievement, uneducated young people, unskilled. Our emphasis will be on them. That is why national standards are so important. And those members should be ashamed that they would be happy to continue to see 1 out of every 5 young person in New Zealand leave school without literacy and numeracy sufficient to enable them to contribute to the economy. That's what that side is saying, that they're happy to see when they criticise national standards, when they criticise what we are intending to do. So we need all of our young children going through early childhood education. We need to make sure that young people leave school with qualifications, and we need to ensure that the skills that they need to help us grow the economy are theirs to be had. And that Labour Party would do well to encourage the schools, the teachers, or their colleagues, their associates out in the public arena to support what this government is doing. Because it's no point in raising... No, we don't. That's the problem. A Labour government does. We do not treat them like they're idiots. But people want better from our economy. They want better from New Zealand, and they deserve better. And our ability to engage and to engage with them is important. The ability of the Prime Minister to listen, to engage with them is hugely important. They appreciate that, and that side would do well to encourage the same. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker. I call the Honourable